I'm just gonna spoil the answer for you right now. I started my business in June of 2019, and by May 2020, I was able to cash collect my first $100,000. So for all the math geniuses out there, that is approximately 10 months. You can see here, growth was a little bit slow out of the gates, but after a while, it really did take off. It took around 6 months for me to hit my first 10K month, but 12 months after I started my business, my year anniversary, I was able to cash collect almost $50,000 in a single month. Now, I know none of you guys give a flying f about how much I was able to make. You just want to know how I did it, and more importantly, how you can do it as well. So buckle up, because that's exactly what I'll be sharing with you today. Now, before we begin, I do want to set a couple caveats, because not every single person is going to be able to replicate the results that I got. And the first thing is I had already been working in sales for 7 years up to that point. So I was very comfortable on the phone. And I had also spent some time working at marketing software companies. So I also understood a little bit of the technology and the automation side, which definitely made things significantly easier for me as I was getting my business started. And the second thing is, I was immediately working full-time hours on this business. I was not treating it like a side hustle. Even though initially I was still working my 9 to 5, my mindset was, this is something that I'm going all in on. And the third point is, my initial year of working on my business, I sacrificed everything. I was working 80 to 90 hours a week. I sacrificed my social life. I sacrificed even my physical health. At the 6-month mark of me starting my business, I had been slouched over my desk for such a long time that my back started having spasms and I needed to go to physio to fix it. So everything that was important to me, I shelved for the purpose of scaling my business, and not everyone's gonna be willing to do that. So I have a question for you. Have you already began your business? Have you already gotten to 100K per month in your business? If so, please just drop a comment below as to how long it took. And if not, please tell me how long you've been working for. So with that being said, let me actually go into my process of how I was able to scale my brand new business from nothing to eventually generating me over $100,000 in cash in under a year. So my first step was I identified who my audience was and how I wanted to help them. In fact, I was actually thinking about this long before I even quit my 9 to 5, just contemplating what is it that I'm good at and what are the things that I could do to allow someone else's life to become better or help their business reach their next level of scale. For me, it was very obvious that what I'm good at is sales, and what I could teach people is sales process, how they could improve their sales pitch, their sales skills, and even some of their sales campaigns in order to generate more clients. For you, that could be entirely different, right? It doesn't even necessarily have to be a business opportunity. You could be helping someone with dating or their health, but you need to truly understand who is your ideal customer and how you can add value to them. I actually had a friend recently who began a business, and he picked something as specific as helping Asian men with their dating lives, and not just with any sort of dating, but with their online dating. And I like it because he chose something that's really, really narrow, which is beneficial because frankly, there's a million other dating instructors out there, but because he's narrowing it into the Asian population and he's talking about online dating, it makes it much easier for his message to really separate itself from the pack, which has really helped him scale his business to over $30,000 a month really, really quickly. So once I identified who I'm trying to sell to, my next step was trying to find my first few clients via outreach. Now, I do have this other video right here that talks about how I got my first paying customer in literally just 48 hours of me starting my business. But in this video, I'll go through at a higher level how I was able to do it. The first thing is I spent all my time doing actual outreach. I didn't waste time trying to build a website or get business cards set up or even write content, because I knew that the quickest path to me monetizing my business is just having a bunch of conversations with my ideal customers. So I found some of my ideal customers on LinkedIn using Sales Navigator. And if you don't really know how to use Sales Navigator to find your audience, click this video right here. I go deeper into how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find out where your customers are. And once I was able to find my prospects, I just sent them a bunch of messages, trying to learn a little bit more about their situation, trying to find out if they have any issues, and ultimately jumping on a call to pitch them my products. Initially, my offer was very unsophisticated. My pricing was low. I was was charging just $1,000 a month for my consulting services, and the amount of work that I was doing for each client was high. I was jumping on hour-long calls with them literally every single week and doing more work on top of that just over email or creating copy for them. So it was very manual and very time-consuming. And this essentially lasted for my first 3 months until I was able to get enough clients where I was generating around $5,000 per month. It wasn't the sexiest work. To be honest, I felt like an employee in my own business, and I was still making less than what I was doing in my 9-to-5 job, but it was a really good start. Now, before I get to the next step as to how I was able to scale this out, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're aware of any new amazing content that comes out. Now, the next step for me was to create some content, which would allow me to get some inbound leads, as well as allow the people that I was jumping on sales calls with to maybe trust me more because they know that I am credible and an expert in my field. A couple things that I did here in my content phase, I recorded a bunch of tutorials and explainer videos that I would send to my customers that would show them how they could actually build out some sales processes. This was really effective in building that additional trust. I also created a ton of content on both LinkedIn and Facebook that just walked people through my ideas, my philosophies, how I scaled my business. And from that, I was able to actually generate a ton of inbound leads. In fact, on Facebook, some of my posts even went super viral, and I was able to generate lots and lots of sales calls from those posts alone. Now, I didn't stop doing my outreach. If anything, I doubled down. I added some automations so that I could do more outreaches every single day, and I went multi-channel with my outreach, where I was hitting people up on LinkedIn and email and Facebook so I could get more coverage. And executing on these processes allowed me to start generating between 10 to 15 sales calls a week. And at this point, I was already charging a little bit more. Rather than selling a 1K per month offer where I was doing so much work, I actually raised my offer to 4.5K for 6 months worth of coaching, but I would collect payment up front. And I was able to reduce the amount of hours I was spending consulting with my clients by creating some video courses that I was able to give my customers for them to consume on their own time. Doing all of this allowed me to actually hit 20K per month in cash collected revenue with essentially no expenses because I was still doing everything myself. And all this happened roughly between my 3rd to 8th month. Now, by my 8th month, things were going pretty well revenue-wise, but the problem was I was starting to burn out. I was working 80 hours a week, sending out DMs and writing content and jumping on sales calls and working with clients, and frankly, I couldn't keep it up. I literally had to go to physio to fix my back because I was sitting at my desk all day, every single day with no breaks. So the next step was clearly, how could I start delegating or automating some of these processes so I could free up time? So the solution was actually to hire an appointment setter that could remove me from needing to do all this DM and appointment setting. Because frankly, booking calls and operating inside Messenger, that by itself was taking up almost 30 to 40 hours of work a week for me. So I hired and trained 2 appointment setters in order for me to pretty much relieve all of my duties on email, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Because literally within 90 days, I was able to double my revenue from 20K per month to nearly 40K a month. My call bookings actually doubled, but the hours that I was working per week went back down to 40 or 50 hours, which for me was a lifesaver. And that essentially was month 8 to month 12. And like I said earlier in the video, my 12th month was when I was able to almost break the 50K cash collected milestone. So it's crazy how fast things actually took for me to ultimately see success. But once again, it took a ton of sacrifice, lots of risk taking in terms of investing money into hiring a team and buying softwares, and also a little bit of luck if I'm being entirely honest. So if you're in a situation where you're trying to scale your business as well, I have a masterclass totally for free for you to download below in the description box. It teaches you how you can actually scale from 0 to 20K per month in 90 days. And it goes much deeper than this video in terms of giving you the right copy, talking about the softwares that I use. Everything that you need is in that masterclass, so check it out right now. However, for anyone who's already convinced that I could help you out, book a call with me in the description box below, and we can jump on a quick discussion so that I can give you some specific recommendations on how you can build your business. There will be no hard pitch. I'm gonna just try to add as much value as I possibly can to you and your company. So that's pretty much it. Here are a couple other recommended videos that you can go check out that can help you on your mission to scale your company. All right, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.